Colin Farrell has been with us in the field now for almost 8 days. We've been living constantly here in North Africa, in Morocco. We've been living in the field. We've been doing an extraordinary amount of physical training in the morning. We've been grappling. We've been wrestling, combat eye to eye, nose to nose. So essentially, he has gone through the school of the soldier, as the real Alexander did.
It all happens so slowly, bits fit into place day by day, hour by hour, literally, you know, you begin to look at things, you begin to understand more things, ever so slowly, you know. All the lads are experiencing the same things. All the boys call ourselves character names. Already we're used to addressing each other that way. I'm known as the Regent on the camp.
Regent will count the cadence, you'll count the repetitions. Ready? Exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
In the drive for authenticity, conditions at the boot camp are harsh. Colin's men are forced to train all day, every day in the blazing heat. Their communication with the outside world has been cut, and they're restricted to only 1 meal a day.
It ain't a 3-course meal by any stretch of the imagination, but it's enough, and it's more than Alexander and his army would have had back in the day. So we just, you know, anything that can get us closer to the true experience of what the boys went through back then, you know, in 335, 340 BC is a good thing.
There is no doubt that Alexander's army was incredibly fit physically. They had to be to accomplish what they did over the course of 11 years of constant campaigning in terribly challenging terrain and environments. And that, coupled with Alexander's inspirational leadership, meant a great deal when it came to the success of his campaigns.
What we're doing here is trying to recreate that training in a microcosm, not only to recreate what Alexander's soldiers had to go to, but also to prepare them for the rigors of filming. Both our ancient soldier and our modern soldier actually carried similar amounts of weight, but what they were able to carry is vastly different. Our modern soldiers able to have food for 14 days, expendable ammunition, survival gear, sleeping equipment, flashlights, hand grenades, etc., etc. He's a working survival unit. On the other hand, your ancient soldier has got a helmet, has got armor on, and has weapons. That's it. Just what he needs to survive that battlefield. Nothing else. He has no water, has no food, and has no communications equipment at all.
17, 2, 3, 18, 2, 3, 19, 2, 3, 20, 2, 3. Up you get?
Like his ancient counterpart, it's up to Colin to maintain his men's morale.
I want to keep these fellas alive. I want to keep them. I want to keep them healthy. I know they're getting enough food to survive and to be strong. But I know that the amount of food that they're getting can also play tricks with their minds and make them feel weaker than they actually are, make them feel like they have less potential to do the work they have to do than they actually have.
We're seeing more of him becoming a leader and not yet the supreme commander. Every actor is born thinking, me, me, me. How many lines can I say? How much face time can I get? And the hell with everybody else. Colin's out of that stage. He's well out of that stage. He's not worried about Colin Farrell. He's worried about Alexander's men. He's worried about how my boys doing. Do they have coffee down here? Is there enough firewood?
Colin is at the head. The way he leads us throughout our boot camp, throughout filming, he's got a nature and personality, both sort of intentional and unintentional, I think, which leads us and provokes us into action.
After 2 weeks, Colin's sense of his relationship with his companions is becoming more and more acute.
I'm not by any means a military man. I've always been one of the lads, you know? I've always been one of the lads.
That's 1 minute!
But, you know, I have to stand back from the boys now a little bit. I have to kind of separate myself from the lads. Like, for me, it's trying to find a balance between pushing them as hard as I should push them, being in control of them as much as I should be in control of them, and also them knowing that I'm there for them, that I'll do anything for them, that I'll die for them, kill for them. I'll take anything that they take, any ounce of pain, any mile they jog, I'll be right on their shoulder or right ahead of them leading them.
30 seconds left!
So I just want them to know that I'm their leader, but I am also, first and foremost, a soldier.
They call him Regent. They stand to attention when they talk to him. He has their respect, like Alexander. Colin never asked his men to do anything he did not do.
That's it! That's it, boys!
What Alexander asked his men to do was follow him on an 11-year campaign, which would take them from Greece in the west to India in the east. His aim was to conquer the whole of the Persian Empire, the biggest and wealthiest in the world. To make up the numbers, Oliver Stone has drafted in 1,000 members of the Moroccan army. For Colin, now nearly 3 months into his journey, the process of becoming Alexander is beginning to take its toll.
I'm tired enough, well, I'll keep going, but I'm tired enough to think that he did it for as long as he did it on the road, you know, 11 years and so many thousands of miles that he traversed with an army. We were finding it hard to keep 256 men together here and to keep, you know, the morale of all those men up and to make sure that anyone that falls to the back is being picked up to the front. And that's only 256 men. I mean, you're talking travelling with armies of 45, 65,000.
Phalanx! Turn! Forward! March!
Colin and his army must now master the ancient military strategy which was the secret of Alexander's success, a formation known as the phalanx.
The main goal of this 3-week experience, cinematically, is to get the phalanx. It's going to be 256 men, ranks of 16, and straight towards the Persians. So that's going to take some to do.
The bird's eye view of a phalanx would depict an elongated rectangle, packed full of infantrymen, shoulder to shoulder in several lines or ranks, about 8 lines deep. That was the standard phalanx of the day, and it was very effective as a blunt tool, a military formation that would provide a great deal of power moving forward.
The phalanx was composed of units called syntagma. Colin's army must faithfully replicate this formation.
He had his line of battle in a revolutionary formation, a 256-man syntagma, all armed with a long spear that was 17 to 20 feet long, called a sarissa. We're practicing with those now.
Each rank of soldiers would put the sarissa down, would protect themselves with a round shield, and from the front, this formation then would look like a pin cushion, basically, with spear points facing outward. And it would be very difficult for anything or anyone to move through it and stay alive.
This is a unique and great experience and can't be put together overnight. So 3 weeks were allotted to get as tight and as effective as possible because it was an awesome military machine. And then the decent effect of that was that we all became soldier-type people. You know, became men with missions.
Oh!
It's week 2 of boot camp, and the men of Colin's infantry are perfecting the phalanx. Meanwhile, the elite cavalry, led by Alexander himself, are having to hone their skills on horseback.
It's one thing fighting on the ground with a sword, it's another on the back of a horse. There are profound challenges just to get on the thing. And then once you're on it, the formations are tricky, not only because you have to be aware of everyone around you, but as soon as you get onto this sort of terrain and you're moving through it at speed, within 5 seconds you've disappeared. And all you see is brown, but you can feel your horse moving underneath you, but you can't see yourself move. So it feels like you're flying in a cloud or something, you know?